and just wait for Councillor Jonick. We'll work until she arrives. I'd like to declare the meeting open at 9:37 a.m. this morning. We have all councillors in attendance but Councillor Jonick. Are there any declarations of interest in matters on the agenda? There are none. No business outstanding. The first item today is the confirmation of minutes. Would anybody like to move? Councillor Milligan, seconded by Councillor Kunzelman. Any discussion? Right, I'll put it to the vote that the minutes of the meeting held on 15 April 2021 be confirmed. Those in favour? That's unanimous and carried. The first officer's report for today is the Queensland Audit Office 2021 Interim Audit Report. Would any members of the committee like to ask the relevant officer some questions? Mayor, I'd like to call on Mr. Keach. Sorry, the CFO.
Bit of everything. Good morning, Chair, Mayor, Councillors. Jeff Keach, the Acting General Manager, Corporate Services.
Mr. Kitchen, I appreciate that the QAO do extra special reports onto us, which I think is really great what's happened here. And read through it. Is there anything particularly you'd like to raise that is concerning that you think the organisation's not addressing or anything like that? Or what's your view?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mayor. You're correct. This is the interim audit from the QAO, and where you notice most of the issues arising were ones through what we refer to the IS audit, so an information systems audit. So I guess the key ones with the Auditor General's pulling forward, there's a couple of new significant deficiencies which we are actioning. They are underway in that space. I'm comfortable that they're being actioned in accordance with the appropriate timeframes. So they're in flight, and in fact the second item in there, we've addressed 5 of the 6 recommendations, and the last one of those is due to be finished in May. And of the 3 deficiencies, there 2 of them have been completed already, and the third one is due by the end of June. So I'm comfortable with the status of where they're being updated and being actioned at this stage in time.
I'll just look at the Acting CEO. Would you concur with that?
I do. Thank you, Mayor. Through the Chair, I do concur with Mr. Keach's assessment of the current status.
Thank you.
And the progress made.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Cheers.
Would anybody like to move the acceptance of this report? Mayor Harding, seconded by Councillor Milligan. Any discussion? We'll put the matter to the vote that the report be accepted. Those in favour? It's unanimous and carried. We will move on to item 3 on today's agenda, the Canopy PPU film and video streaming resource. Do any members of the committee have any questions on this report? It's a procurement matter. All right. Would anybody like to move recommendations A, B and C be accepted? Mayor Harding, seconded by Councillor Doyle. Any comments or discussion? All right. We'll put the recommendations A, B and C to the vote. Those in favour? It's unanimous and carried. We'll move on to item 4 on today's agenda, the procurement matter for the Studiosity subscription renewal.
Chair, if I may I move that this matter lays on the table? We've asked the relevant General Manager a couple of questions about the organisation's need for this. My understanding is that a decision doesn't have to be made in the next 2 months. I don't know if you wish to speak to them or...
That's fine. So you're moving that the matter be laid on the table?
Laid on the table for 2 months.
Seconded by Councillor Kunzelman.
I don't know if you want to speak to the relevant council officer on that first, or... Yeah.
Well, we've got the live motion. I think
okay.
You can, as part of... like to call on Mr. White.
Or Mr. Pole.
Or Mr. Pole. Whichever. Procurement, libraries.
Thank you, Chair, Mayor, Councillors. Ben Pole, General Manager, Community, Cultural and Economic Development.
Through the Chair, Mr. Pole, I was just looking at what is called council business, and we obviously support our community, but is there a need for the council to actually do this, and do we have to make this decision right now? Are there other things that we could be looking at to help our community?
We can certainly postpone a decision on this without any detriment to services being provided. So if the council would like to discuss this particular service or indeed the broader range of library services as a portfolio, we can certainly facilitate that and leave this procurement decision to another time.
Yep. Is there a library strategy coming to us, or is there a paper to assess this later on that we could do in the broader scheme, or that's not coming for some time?
27th of July, we have 2 workshop and briefings booked with the Mayor and councillors. One of those relates to the library strategy, so the overarching strategy, and the other relates to the services and programs being proposed to be delivered by the libraries, library services over the next 12 months. So that's an opportunity for the management of libraries and customer services to engage with the broader council.
So if it was the decision of the council to lay this on the table for a couple of months to wait till we have that workshop, will that impact the organisation operationally or this service for the users?
Look, I think we'd be able to, without any detriment to the service being provided, cover that period. I don't believe it's going to be detrimental to any services being provided.
Okay. Thank you, Mr Poll.
Any further discussion on the matter?
I think to speak to why I would like to lay them on the table, it's a fair whack amount, $99,000, and I guess it'd be good to see in the broader strategy whether it's a necessary expenditure or not, is what I guess what I'm proposing. By laying them out on the table, it's not going to impact people who are using it at the moment, but allows us to make a bit more informed decision in a couple of months' time after that library strategy workshop.
And
Microphone, sorry. Strain.
certainly related to what is core business for council. That's what we'd like to base our questions on.
Yep. Any further discussion?
And just through you, Chair, noting that it has been budgeted for within the 2021 budget already. So if it does move into the next financial year, there might be some altercations with budget movement, but wanting it to be laid on the table as well. Just really questioning whether it's primary or secondary or a tertiary application, and if something of that substance is available through tertiary students through their universities or TAFEs, etc.
All right, so the motion before us on the screen is that the matter lay on the table for 2 months. That's what you intended?
Yes, please, Chair. Thank you.
All right, I'll put that motion to the vote. Those in favour? That's unanimous and carried. We'll move on to the 5th item of today's agenda, which is another procurement matter. It's on the Water Ride cloud subscription for flood forecasting. Do any members of the committee have questions on this one? No? All right, would anybody like to move recommendations A, B and C? Councillor Doyle, and seconded by Councillor Kunzelman. Any discussion? All right, I'll put recommendations A, B and C to the vote. Those in favour? That's unanimous and carried. There are no notices of motion or matters arising. I would like to declare the meeting closed at 9:46 a.m. and the next meeting will start at
9:56.
on or around 9:56.
Thank you, Chair.